Last year, I played against 8 Power 4 commits. Instead of sending me like graphics on Twitter, they were sending me like handwritten letters. If you're a play caller for national championship winning teams, clearly you know what you're doing. I sent him my film kind of out of the blue, and then he loved it, and he offered me pretty shortly thereafter.
Let's talk about Scott Stadium.
The only tradition I know about is streaking the long.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Fanstake Radio. We got a sick episode in store for you today. It really touches close to home. We have incoming UVA recruit currently playing high school ball at Lambert High School down in Sewanee, Georgia. We got Dylan Biehl joining the pod. Welcome to the show, Dylan.
What's going on, man? How are you, man?
Dude, I'm doing great. I think we're catching you at like the perfect point, I think, for every football fan in America where, hey, we could win them all, which is exciting.
Yes, sir.
So you're currently playing ball in high school down in Georgia. Did the season start already? Are you guys going?
Yeah, so we start school like super early down here. We start like August 5th, August 6th. So
shit.
We get right into it. So we start our scrimmage on like the I think maybe like the first week of school. So we start off right in August. We hit it going. We go in full pads pretty much from end of July until then. So we got plenty of time to get working, and we have padded spring practice too. So we spend a lot of times in pads down in Georgia. So ready to go come August.
So I talked to it actually might have been a college guy, but he was saying that like they weren't really doing two-a-days. I mean, down in Georgia high school ball, I got to imagine you guys are doing real two-a-days down there, yeah?
No, I think down south. I think if you go down south, go to like Lowndes or like Colquitt County, like Tiff, those schools, I think they probably still do it, from what I hear. But my school, it's not too bad. In the summer, it's like 4 days a week, and we go for like we have like 4 hours every day, but it's all like in that one period of time. So
okay.
It's 4.5 hours. It's like we got lift started off, and you got meetings and practice, and we don't do enough conditioning at my school either. I don't think.
I could have made it if there was no two-a-days. I did 1 2-a-day, and I said, "See you later." I'm gonna grab the microphone.
I think it's definitely changed. I think across all levels of football, they just don't do it as much, which I wouldn't mind because I love ball, but it's all good.
Yeah, hey, more ball's always good. So what's I don't know too much about like the high school landscape. So like your high school program, are you guys? Is it competitive? Or I guess better question would be, how many people on your team are going D1?
So just to start off, like Lambert High School is a very competitive across like all sports. We are in the top classification in Georgia, which is ranked by Max Press as the second hardest bracket in the country in terms of competition. So it's extremely loaded. Like last year, I played against 8 Power 4 commits across the board. I got different teams. But in terms of my school, our program, we're pretty consistent, right around like second past since I've been there, like second place in the region. We were in the same region as Milton High School, who you probably heard of. Milton High School was like number 2 in the country last year, but they're in a region for my freshman and sophomore year. They moved down to classifications, but we're always competitive. We win, I would say, some average between 7 to 10 games a year. Past 4 or 5 years have been in that ballpark, and then it's a very competitive area. It's talent is loaded. You see it every year. I mean, UGA is one of the top programs for a reason. Their homegrown talent within the state of Georgia is remarkable. I mean, there's so many good players, and I've gone against several guys committed to Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina. I mean, SEC country is all around here, and I go against a lot of good comp. So
yeah, I mean that's awesome for just like game tape, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I remember there was one guy from my high school. It was one person who went D1, and the matchups that he was getting. It's like probably wasn't like the best film opportunity.
No, it's not. And I think that's one thing that set me apart in my recruiting process, because I'm not super I don't have freakish measurables or anything. I mean, I'm like 6'3", 6'4", I weigh 270 pounds. So I'm not like some mammoth, but I go against really good competition. So that means by the time I get to college, I'll be more prepared. In terms of our program, though, I mean, we turn out a lot of guys to go FCS. The FBS guys have been, there's been guys who've gone FBS for sure. We had a top 100 recruit a couple years ago. He put at Ohio State. Now he's at Colorado State. But so we do have guys who go play FBS ball. That's kind of, a lot of guys. I would say every recruiting class out of our school has maybe 2 FCS guys, 2 to 3, maybe 5 guys who are
Yeah.
going next
And
level.
now you're seeing with the portal,
Oh yeah,
FCS
yeah,
schools being such a great like launch pad.
yeah,
The big dogs are going to be recruiting from the FCS schools almost rather than
yeah.
high school. So for you
It's
to
like
go
minor league.
right from high school
Yeah,
to a school like Virginia that's investing a fuck ton of money into this
yeah,
program, it's exciting. As a fan, I think this is like one of the more exciting seasons leading into, and just I think we're kind of at a crux of, it's been a couple down years,
yep, yep.
a lot of different circumstances and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So I want to get into your recruiting journey and your
Yeah.
recruiting process. Was it an easy decision? Who recruited you from UVA?
Yeah. So my journey I was very fortunate. I got my first offer from Indiana in like October my sophomore year. So I got kicked off pretty early with a Big Ten offer. So um, that was a good start. And then I went from there. I got, kind of offers in waves. I a lot of G5 schools, then a lot of Power 4 schools. And, I think some of these guys have these crazy offer accounts that are like 40 to 50. Once you go in and look at them, and then it's like like UT Martin offered them, and Stetson offered them. Like schools like that never really offered me because I was kind of already from that first Indiana offer. You're like, okay, those schools are like, okay, we're not gonna be able to get this guy, right? So I had 20 like schools offered me, but I had a couple re-offers too, so I ended up with like 22 total offers. But then I mean, my sophomore year, going into my junior year, I hit a lot of schools, so I saw a lot early in the process. And I mean, I went to all the SEC schools. Um, I even went
Okay.
to like Oregon and Washington. Those schools didn't offer me, but still I was there
Mhm.
just to see it and see what every program is like. So I mean, I went to so many visits. So by the time January rolled around, I really I was, my top schools were like, UVA was obviously my top school. I committed there really early. Um, but I really liked like Florida State. I liked, I liked Stanford. I liked Penn State. Those were kind of like my top other options. UCLA. There were some good programs that were in on me, but ultimately, I was tired of the recruiting process. I know it sounds like something you take for granted, but recruiting process is pretty exhausting. You're spending every weekend on a visit. You don't have a lot of time to hang out with friends. You don't have time to like play golf. You don't have time to like do things you want to do. You're always on the road. You're flying. You're driving. So it just got tiring. And I was ready to make a decision for in terms of who recruited me at UVA. Immediately, I hit it off with Coach Heff, Terry Heffernan, the O-line coach. I kind of just was going through like people I haven't really heard from at the time. This was like going into my junior season, and I just DM'd a bunch of coaches who I hadn't really heard from yet. And Terry Heff was one of those guys. And Coach Heff, I sent him my film kind of out of the blue, and he loved it, and he offered me pretty shortly thereafter.
So you actually sent the O-line coach at Virginia your film, and then he said,
Yes.
"Oh, this is good film. I'm going to recruit you."
Yeah, basically that's kind of how it works. At that point, I had about 10 offers, and Penn State offered me, Stanford offered me, Georgia Tech, UCF. So there was big schools already in there. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna DM schools I haven't ever really heard from, and just throw my name out there. If they respond, great. If they don't, whatever, right? So I was at that point, I was already okay. Let's get my list down to 7
Dude,
schools, right?
that's awesome. I mean, that's like the stories that you hear from people in like the
Yeah,
workplace that send the cold DM or like they
yeah,
emailed the CEO,
yeah.
and
Give
they
them
end
the
up being like the success story. So,
yeah,
credit to you for playing
yeah.
some offense.
Yeah, so I reached out and hit him up, and then didn't go to camp or anything, but we had a first conversation, hit it off really well. Then he got me on a visit shortly thereafter, and I saw the Maryland game. I was in the Maryland game and the SMU game. I just from the first time I was there, I loved it, and it was just not just Coach F. I mean, it's everybody in that program is first class. They also treated me really well. They treated my family really well too. Like we got a really good like exclusive kind of like look. We met with Coach Elliott before the game. Like just things that like other schools, hadn't really been providing. Like it was really like VIP. Like okay, like
Yeah.
I'm a top priority. Because again, if you go to schools like in the SEC, like they're recruiting a lot of guys. UVA only offers 100 or so guys per class, versus you go to a school like Miami, who offers 450 guys per class,
Oh,
right? But
wow.
they cast a pretty small net of recruits. So for me, it felt really personal, and I really liked that. And they were sending me, instead of sending me like graphics on Twitter, they were sending me like handwritten letters. And it's things like that like meant more to me in my process. That's why I was just ready to commit early. And then too, I wanted to be like a leader, like on social media, trying to recruit guys for my class so I could reach out and hit guys up and
Yeah.
just gonna have my spot early and know where I was going early was a kind of big priority for me. And like I wasn't really into taking like 7 OVs. I wanted to take one and be done
No,
with
that's
that.
really cool, dude. I mean, obviously, like NIL, like all that stuff's important, payment and opportunity, and there's all these different things that you have to weigh and balance: proximity to home, the culture,
Yeah.
like all of that stuff. But I think we in the social media world, like even how you were saying it earlier, like, oh, I didn't have that many. Some people get 50 offers. Like, who you only can play for one school.
Yeah,
The amount of
exactly.
offers you get doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Unless you're really trying to just like leverage it. But that's I've seen it in business at least where
Yep.
people try
Yeah.
and leverage offers and all of a sudden you're left with nothing.
Yeah. No, it happens for sure. I think you see it these days. I mean, kids commit as sophomores to these schools, and they just kind of use it to say, okay, hey, I'm committed to
I just saw
Chattanooga.
there was a seventh grader offered to Miami. Who the fuck was that? There was I was someone's son who's I think Devin Hester's son I think got an
Yeah.
offer to Miami in seventh
Yeah.
grade, and it's like
Yeah.
honestly, I'm a marketer. Credit to
Yeah.
their team. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
good marketing,
Yeah.
but I do think it dances on a fine line of like, is that what a championship program does? Is that what a winning
No.
program
No.
does? That's
No.
why I'm a big fan. I mean, obviously, I went to Virginia, but I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
Tony Elliott is just such a stand-up guy, and this is to
Absolutely.
all the haters on Twitter that are going to be watching this. Like, guys, give him a chance, man. It's been 3
Oh yeah.
years. It's not
Yeah.
even his roster yet.
No.
We're just in this world of NIL that Virginia, I think we all know, is a little hesitant early on, and they were investing more in the facilities. So I'm a big Tony Elliott guy, big believer.
Yeah. And I think he's won again, but people don't factor in the fact he's won so many games. At Clemson, he was dominant. I mean, think about what him, Coach Venables at Oklahoma, and Coach Sweeney did together as a trio. OC, head coach, DC they were dominant. And he was a big part of that, right? If you're a play caller for national championship winning teams, clearly you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Clearly you know how to win
Yeah.
games. And I think a big thing was the fact that he didn't run the roster off, right? He took what he was given, made the best out of it, but didn't run those guys off. He wanted them to graduate from UVA because it's a great degree. And he wanted them to finish out. And I think one of the things that stuck out to me was like this year versus last year. I remember I went to a junior day after I was already committed, right? I went there just to be around. And Sage Ennis, you know who Sage Ennis is? He's one of
No.
the players for UVA. So he played for Elliott at Clemson.
Okay.
Then he transferred over, played for him now at UVA. And he just said like it's not the same. It's not the same group of guys. Like the guys at UVA a couple years ago when Elliott first got there were more interested in getting the degree at UVA and studying finance or whatever, which is great. But he says the guys who are in there now really want to play football and want to win games.
That's awesome.
So
I rooted with the kicker when I was at school.
Yeah. So,
Holland Corbett. He played kicker for 1 year, and he was a shithead. I hope he sees this. That guy partied more than anyone I know.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, like we don't have a kicker. They're doing walk-on tryouts for the kicker. He didn't want to do it anymore. And I'm going to all these games as a fan, living with it. And I'm like, dude, you're the best kicker on campus. Go. But it didn't have that same edge. And this was also in the Bronco era.
Yeah. It's changed. I think it's changing. I think it's becoming the football guy, culture.
Yeah.
How you win games. And, again, you're not, championship teams aren't built on the biggest flash. They're built on the good players and the good coaches. And I think that's what UVA really has.
No, I think the culture is changing and you see it kind of shifting over the last few years. You mentioned something about like linking with the other recruits. I was actually curious about that. Like, do you guys have like a group chat or for like the people who are committed, or are you DMing people who might be on the fence that you're like, dude, come play with me? Like LeBron texting Wade. Is it that kind of vibe?
Yeah, no. So I mean, they kind of so Justin Spiros is like he's like the man behind the whole machine. He's everywhere, man. He's assistant GM of football ops, which is great because he's an awesome guy. He comes from Clemson. He knows how to recruit guys the right way. So he would send me guys his numbers that they're trying to recruit, and I would just text them and say, "Hey, man, what's up? Like I'm Dylan. I'm committed, and let me know." In terms of recruits, though, I mean, I try my best to give my pitch about why I committed, and I really hit it off with Mikey Gilday, who's a 2026 O-line commit, and then Eli Hamrick, who's a 2026 O-line 2026 quarterback commit from North Carolina. So the three of us talk I would say almost every day.
Hell yeah.
And then there's a bigger group chat. But some of the guys I haven't really met, but those two guys, like, I've been around quite a bit. So it's
That's
like,
awesome because it's really
yeah,
building for the future, because it's
it
not
is.
like a bunch of freshmen come on and everyone's starting and everyone's great. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, like we have to have a future vision for this thing,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
like a
That's
longer term commitment of like, hey, we're not all going to go here for a year and leave. Like we're committed
no.
to this
Yeah.
this culture and trying to get to the ACC championship, which
Yeah.
I think is like an awesome goal. Just having, when I went to schools, like some of the Bryce Perkins years, and it's just like, oh, when we beat Tech, like those I remember talking to somebody, actually it was a Barstool guy, Jake Malasek, and
Yeah.
he told me he thought the win against Virginia Tech in 2018, he like that meant more to him than the national championship for
Yeah.
basketball. And I was just like, I was like, I didn't totally get it, but it's exciting when people can share that vision of like and how much it
Yeah.
means to the community.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like people like UVA football hasn't been super hot recently, but like I think the fans are eager to like get behind the program because again they have crazy good turnouts for baseball and basketball and all those other sports. So it's like you just channel that energy into football. Like Scott Stadium's a huge stadium; it holds 60,000 people. I mean, so you can get that big game environment that can just play to your advantage, right? You're a big program with a big stadium. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Let's talk about Scott Stadium because this is also
Absolutely.
a contentious area on at least in the Twitter sphere.
Yeah.
A lot of people, kind of hate on UVA fans and say UVA has bad fans, and the fans say, "Well, our team's not that great." When you went to the game, what was the atmosphere like? Was it crowded? Did people bail on the SMU game in the third quarter? I think that one was a little bit of a one-sided game.
Yes, yeah. I thought so. Maryland was pretty hard fought. And it was a nighttime game. That was a big time atmosphere, and I felt like the energy. The SMU game was a little more relaxed. I mean, it was like noon. I think it was a noon kickoff if I remember correctly, and they kind of got blown out. So that wasn't the best atmosphere, but like I think Maryland kind of gave me like, okay, this could be what it what like what
You
it
see
what it
like the
what
height and like the potential.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it was nighttime, and it was jumping. I mean, and
Yeah.
again, the band was loud. I mean, it was a fun, really fun. The SMU game, like I said, SMU fell up short, but hopefully, when I play there, that never happens again, right?
But
We're
also,
going.
yeah, I mean, I also think as a recruit, like it could probably be pretty daunting to go to like a 13-0 team. Like, imagine going
Yeah,
to Bama
yeah,
right after Saban leaves, and there's all these expectations. Where,
yeah, yeah.
at least at Virginia, I think I come from a line of my uncle went to Virginia, my grandpa went to Virginia, and
Okay,
so
awesome.
I come from so for hearing from them, it's like the expectations are like pretty low medium. Like it's like, hey, we get a bowl, so it's like
Yeah,
it's all gravy, which is awesome, I think. And I hope that the fans seeing this are like really buy into what we're doing in the transfer portal and show up, because I think it does make a difference. I think college sports, high school sports, like
absolutely.
having a rowdy crowd can really
That's
make a difference.
Yep. Yeah, I think so too. I think you see it in high school sports too all the time. I mean, I think like our students. So like my freshman year was like our best year we've had in our program in the past whatever years. We were 10-2. We should have been to the third round of the playoffs. But we were a really good team that year. But the student section was always packed. The last 2 years, we were 8-3 and 7-4, and we're still a good team. We were playing good comp, so and we almost won those playoff games. We were like within small point margins, so we were a good team. But the student section wasn't really the same. It was not nearly as jumping. And I think this year is kind of getting back to that. But we need to start winning. 'Cause we're 0-2, so we need to get back on the horse.
Yeah, I mean, it's an it's yeah. Oh, and two, yeah. I mean, hey, long season. You got to have the long term
Yeah, no,
view.
we're also playing. I mean, we played two of our best teams. We're going to play this season early, so
That's probably a good thing too.
and
When the competition levels out, it's like, okay, like you'll realize those are the first two teams, and there's always something to continuity.
yeah, and they're non-conference games too, so it doesn't kill you. You can go win all your conference games. Region, we call it region in Georgia, so you win all
Okay.
your region games, you're fine. So it's like doesn't matter.
Do you guys at the high school level have like a kind of cult fans or like traditions? Because I know Virginia has like, I could list it
Yes.
rattle off a ton of them. What are some of the cool high school traditions that your team
Yeah.
has?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, my school's like pretty new. It's like only been there for like 15 years, 16 years. So it's not like, I mean, they're trying to pick up stuff with like they have like this like certain like chants or whatever. And unfortunately, like after we like no matter if we like so at the end of our games, there's a little like band song, but they play it even if we win or lose. And when we lose, I just want to get out of there. So I don't.
I
Yeah,
hear that. I
not
don't
too
think
into this.
UVA did that, because UVA has the good old song.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, no, it's similar to that. They're trying to make that in high school, but it's just like if we lose a game,
Guys,
it's
we
not.
lost. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we don't
funny.
have that now. I mean, we have a few people who are like diehard fans, but it's like not very big. Again, it's a new school.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I've ever heard of a high school that's like
N-
15 years in.
No, no,
That's rare.
no. But it's a huge school, so it's weird. I mean, like, so it's like 15, 16 years old, but it's like we hold like 3,300 students, so it's a huge school, but it's like it's newer. It's sort of weird how like big it's gotten in a short time.
So are you hip to some of the UVA traditions? Do you know, like, so we got guys in ties, girls in pearls. That's
Yeah,
one.
no, I don't know. Oh, I don't know about that. I know
Okay,
about
so
I
so
know
I'll
about
tell you. So
seasonal
that's
punk.
that's like a thing people say. And the first game of the season, I don't know if are we home against Coastal Carolina? Do you
Yeah,
know?
I'll
So
be there at Coastal. Yeah,
oh,
I'll be there.
nice. So you'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
Look out in the crowd and see if you notice it. Because I remember when I went to school, it's. I mean, and I remember hearing it from my uncle and grandpa. When my
yeah,
grandpa went there, it was 1950s. It was very guys in ties, girls in pearls.
yeah.
But people, even when I went to school, I was there 2014.
Uh,
People would dress up for that first game, like formal attire.
yeah. Okay.
And
Keep an eye out.
I'm from Long Island and I was ready to party in college. So I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
wearing a big bright orange Virginia football shirt and people being like, dude, that's like
yeah,
so badass. And it's like, no, dude, this is what normal people do going to the
yeah, yeah.
game. But
No, I don't see the form. I don't really see formal gear anywhere else. So
no, you have to keep an eye
it's
out
like
when you're at the game
I
and
will
let me
keep an eye
know.
on that. The only
Yeah.
tradition I know about is streaking the long. That's the only one I know.
Yes, that's
Did you
a fun
did you
one.
partake in that?
I have
Yeah,
partaken in a streak or two.
yeah.
That's a
I
fun one. You know what? That's a really fun. I was down for a wedding maybe a year or two ago, and it was one of those things where it ends up like it's just one of those traditions that's so fun and silly, and
yeah,
people get to let loose a little bit. But then you have the fourth years who live on the lawn and they're hitting you with the
yeah,
flashlights, and you have all these
yeah,
wasted freshmen running about.
yeah.
I heard after the national championship, it was pretty gnarly.
You can only imagine. Yeah, and Coach Slade said he didn't do it. He said he missed out on that one because
That's what they all say.
uh,
I thought about just saying that. I was like, yeah, I'm not telling the internet.
I'm not sure if I believe him or not though. I don't know. Who knows?
No, that's a fun one. Yeah, I think the game, and then the good old song is the big one.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard.
I like the good old song. I think it's kind of cool because it's everyone's in unison. It's real community. I think it's just cool that like it goes back so long.
Yeah,
Virginia is such a
yeah,
traditional
tradition.
school.
Yeah.
I don't think they should do it after field goals.
No, yeah, maybe
I don't know.
touchdowns. They were saved for TDs.
Yeah,
I
save
got
for or I don't know. Sometimes it was tough when we're down a bunch of points,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
it's like, oh, you kind of like you said, like, we got to sing this song, and it's.
yeah.
I went to a game against BC. Me and my dad had amazing seats. It was his first game down in
Okay.
Charlottesville, and someone could look up the score. It was like 49-7 or something. We got blown out, and my roommates from Boston, he had like 7 cousins that are BC fans staying. It was just a brutal one, and I remember being with them and just like having to sing this stupid fucking song. That's where it's like the stupid. And then when we were winning and we're up 21-0 against Richmond, it's the best song ever.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. Yeah, there's really cool stuff. You get out on the corner. You got to hit the white spot. You get a Gus burger. It's just like a good.
Yeah,
that's
what I've heard of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, dude. It's exciting. I think I kind of think. I'm a little biased, but I do think Virginia is, because it's not 60,000 people. But
No.
it has, I think like if you close your eyes and you describe the college campus to someone, like that's Virginia. It's like what you see in the movie.
Agreed. Yeah, no, it's very nice. It's very, it's like scenic, you know what I mean? I mean, it has like the nice stretches of grass, and it's very beautiful campus. And then too, I mean, like the area around is great too, because it's not like it's urban, but it's not like super like a massive city, like because like Georgia Tech
It's
is right
pretty
by.
quaint. It's pretty chill, I think. It's not.
No, it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Georgia Tech. I mean, Georgia Tech is like, it's like 45 minutes. I live like 45 minutes from the city. Depending on traffic, it could be like 2 hours, just depending. But you know what I mean. I live 30 miles from the city, and to go down to Georgia Tech, like it's crazy. It's like they're literally right in the middle of the city. Like it's tough, And I feel like honestly, I kind of equate Charlottesville to like Athens, because Athens is in Georgia as well. That's 2 hours from my house. And it's just like, again, it has like a city. Now Charlottesville's a little bigger, but it's like a city, but at the same time, it's not like this crazy, skyscrapers aren't like everywhere. You know what I mean? It's just like a nice town.
Yeah, I don't think there are many skyscrapers out in Charlottesville, but there is like a little downtown mall where you can kind of get away from just the pure campus, go out for a nice dinner, go out on a date, stuff like that. Which is all exciting. Who, like, so you're from Georgia, you're a fair bit younger than me. I'm curious, who are your top 3 linemen that you look up to?
Yeah, okay. This is a question I get a lot. So I'm like a big football historian. So like I'm really in like old school players like from like the old days. So like I don't know if do you know like Mike Webster?
I don't know if I'm going to know all the linemen. I know Nick Mangold.
Yeah. Drew. Yeah. No, I mean Mangold's good.
If they didn't play on the Jets, I don't know him.
Yeah. Kevin Mawai in the Jets, he was pretty good.
DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Yeah, UVA.
That's our guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, but so for me, it's like really old dudes, and that's probably a boring answer. I mean, like modern day players, I like Trent Williams a lot. I mean, it's easy, he's like the best. So it's hard to dispute the best.
How'd you get into the older guys? If there is there film on some of these guys, or just reading books?
Yeah, there's film. I remember I saw like the NFL like all century team. That's kind of how I like found out like all these dudes are. My dad talked about them too. So. Yeah, I started getting into them. And you look at some of their physiques, man. They're all like roided up back then, so they're like super jacked. They're one of these big fat dudes. They're these fucking ripped, like Rambo. You know what I mean? Like
they got those big shoulder pads too. Scary
giant pads. And the big old triceps. Like those are the guys. Like I think are awesome.
Yeah, now you see some tackles that look like tight ends almost, and they're so athletic.
I mean, I would say a lot of people think most people think I play like defensive end or tight end when they see me, but people aren't like surprised I play O-line because I'm still big, but like, a lot of people, I'm pretty athletic looking, but like Tyron Smith is one like that too. Like Tyron Smith is super athletic looking. He didn't look like a tackle. I like Tyron Smith too. He's good. I like those lean kind of longer guys.
He was a Jet for, I don't know if he's still in the Jets, but he was.
Yeah, he was. That's right. Yeah, he was a
legend.
Jet.
He's a legend.
Yeah, I completely forgot he was the Jets. Honestly, I was like last year.
What kind of play gets you fired up? Like, because I always think about that with linemen and stats, and it's like you kind of have 2 stats. You have pancakes and then like sacks allowed, right? Like,
and also too, both of them are kind of relative because like sometimes you might like some people might say, oh, it's a pancake. Other people are like, no, it's like, well, you know what I mean? Like and then like with sacks too. Even like I remember my first game of the year, like. I don't think I was credited with giving up a sack, but like the nose tackle beat the center and then hit the quarterback, and then the quarterback's like the quarterback was going down, and then my guy fell on the quarterback. So I was like, well, that's not. I didn't get
what do you say to the court? I mean, listen, everyone's playing their hardest, and sometimes a wide receiver drops a ball, sometimes a quarterback overthrows, and sometimes a lineman lets a defensive player blow by him, and it leads to a sack. What do you say to the quarterback in the huddle after you let up a sack? What does he say to you?
I've only given up, like straight up, I've given up, I think maybe in high school, I think maybe given up like one straight up sack. Like one I just got. So yeah, none hasn't happened much. And we're no huddle in my school, so we're not like, we don't like talk much between plays. It's all like no huddle, like tempo stuff.
Oh, wow.
We try to be like sort of like like Tennessee, how they're like tempo. Like I guess that's kind of like what we try to model offense after is like Tennessee. But like so yeah, I mean it's weird. I mean we're big on our sideline. Like we don't like point fingers. It's not, like that's kind of how we've always been. Like we like you don't ever like like yell at some other guys. Kind of just how we are. Like we got everyone's got to stay calm. But so yeah, I mean if it happens here and there, I mean every once in a while I'll get pissed off. Like I remember on Friday night we played like our last game. My running back literally just like ran right into a linebacker. I'm like, dude, run with some like effing vision, So it happens, But
yeah, I mean, people are passionate. People want to win, and people want everyone to buy in. But I think like what you kind of got at, especially when it comes to like thinking about like a team like Virginia, is just like you got to stick together and just on to the next play sort of thing. It's going to be sad.
The most important play is the next play. That's kind of how we, how I've always been brought up to play that way. So
yeah, I totally agree with that. Well, dude, thanks so much for joining, man. This has been awesome. Just to chop it up. I think the last time I really talked to a Virginia lineman was I took an acting class with Jackson Mateo, who played center for a couple of years, and Jackson Mateo, and Jacob Rainey, who was a quarterback turned coach, and he's going to come on the show at some point.
Awesome.
But yeah, dude, I mean, I feel like the Virginia, both from fans to when I'm in Brooklyn and I see somebody on the street with a hat, it's such a positive community, and
Absolutely.
you know, it's welcome, and so excited for you to join it and represent the school next year. And this should be a fun one, just again, watching the games and kind of starting to get a feel for even the offense if they're running new sets. Apparently, I saw something Jamari Taylor said they're going to be a big run heavy team, and they changed up the offense a little bit.
Actually, the offense, I like the offense a lot. It fits my.
I don't know if it's Tennessee tempo.
No, it's not really my we run that stuff. It's like my strength. But we run everything though. My school, literally, we've been all wide zone to all gap. We literally everything we run at my school. So I feel pretty prepared. But I like what UVA does. They run a lot of outside zone, and that's good for me.
If there's one thing I would try and influence, but from me to you to then the UVA offense, it's not going to be the running on the zone. It's smelling salts. Bring the smelling salts into the locker room. And get the boys going.
I'm one of those guys. I'm truly naturally fired up. So
are you a smelling salt guy or no?
No, I have. There's two guys in my team. We've this super small safety. He's actually doing the cross player. He's gonna be doing he gets smelling salts and tweakers and all that stuff. And then our right tackle too. He's like a caffeine fiend. He gets all sorts of stuff going before the games. He's committed to Stanford, play football.
Wow. So that's cool. That's cool. My coworker played ball at Stanford. Andrew Phillips.
No, Stanford, Alabama.
Stanford. Okay. Not Stanford. Well, dude, that's cool. Okay, so that's that. There you have it. 2026 Virginia recruit Dylan Biehl, dude. Thanks so much.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.